Hey, oboes. Today we're going to be practicing crowing on our reed. Making a reed crow is something you should do every time you take your instrument out of the case. Before you begin to play, you always test the reed. So you've already learned how to soak your reed. So I've been soaking my reed here in this cup, and I'm going to demonstrate for you how to crow the reed. So when I'm doing this, I have my tuner in front of me so I can see what pitch I am crowing. And the goal of the crow is to have two sounds in the crow. So not just a high sound, not just a low sound, but to have two sounds in that. So for example, this is a really high. So I've got a high sound in the crow, but not the low one too. So I want to place my lips in that whistle face. So I get both pitches sounding at the same time. So go ahead, and if you've soaked your reed, you can give that a try. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to before we begin this assignment, if you need to soak your reed. And then we will begin here with line number 1. So here is line number 1, and the instructions say to hold a steady sound for as long as you can. Right here in measure 1, you see this funny looking sign over the top of the note. Some people call this a bird's eye because it looks just like the eye of a bird, but it's really called a fermata. Fermata in Italian means to stop. If you go to Italy and they don't have stop signs that say stop, the stop signs say fermata. So it means to stop. And what we're going to do is in music, it means to hold it for an extended period of time. So we're going to hold this as long as possible. All right, so I'm going to set my whistle face. Now, as you can hear, as I did that for an extended period of time, I lost the bottom part of the crow, and I was just doing the top whistle instead of both parts at the same time. So we want to try that again. So we are extending that double crow sound. Whistle face. Now, oboe players can do that for a long time. You're going to find in your adventure with oboes that some of your reeds are better than others. So you will have a favorite reed that crows really, really well, and one maybe that doesn't crow very well. And you will, of course, be rotating those reeds. And eventually a reed will wear out and it won't crow well at all. It won't respond. So pay attention as you're practicing the crow as to how your reed is responding to that. All right, here's the next one. And if you lose part of the crow, you may find that you have to reset the embouchure to find the place where you can get that to happen again. Here's the last one. Now that we know that our reed is responding, we're going to do line 2. Line 2 is with a metronome. So we are going to take in our air and we're going to play the crow for 4 counts and stop playing when we get to count 1 of the next measure. So it'll be play, 2, 3, 4, stop the air. I'm going to set the metronome. So you are tapping your foot. Set your embouchure, the whistle face. And I'll give you tap, tap, breathe, and then we'll begin right here in measure number 8. And tap, tap. And breathe. and breathe. And breathe. Line number 3 is the same thing, except instead of playing for one measure, we're going to play for 2 measures. So a total of 8 counts and cut off on beat 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, stop. All right, set your whistle face. Here we go. Down, up, breathe. And breathe. Try to keep the crow consistent the whole time. That's the hard part. Thank you for joining us on this video today. This is one thing that you want to go back and repeat several times and then go on to the next lesson because we're going to play some notes.